Is that working? Is that all right? There you go. Sorry, as we crossed over from one thing to the other, the little red light came on and the picture froze, didn't it? But you could still hear me. Hello, all right? It's Wednesday, the 6th of, not August, April 2022. Welcome along to tonight's little chat show coming to you from the Chapel Hill Marina in Lincolnshire. I think some of you have come over tonight from Gary Butler's premiere show this evening. Were you chatting away there? I did spot. I was there sitting on the side. So about 80 or 90 of you there. So a very good evening to one or two of you who are joining us tonight, and also from the recent Butler's Empire video from yesterday. I think that was where it was showing him a little fence. A little bit more about that later on. But good evening to you. Welcome along to the show. If you'd like to join in the show tonight, you can text me. A text message will come straight to me. It jumps over the chat box. Okay, text numbers up there in the top left hand corner, 07451 287 337. You can send us a message direct like that, or if you want to take your chances and put a message in the chat box, I try and see all of those. Sometimes it gets very busy in there, so I miss some of them, but I will be popping in and out of there. All right, I've noticed it's got rather windy outside. Is it windy where you are? Yes, a little bit windy outside and wet as well. Don't know what's going on there. I haven't seen the weather tonight. But I think we might have a little bit of a storm coming, which is lovely because at the moment, I know this looks like a purpose-built television studio to you, but I am in a caravan, okay? I'm in a rusty old, and it is old, a rusty old caravan. And when that wind blows, actually the caravan doesn't rock at all. It's really very well secured down, but you certainly could hear the wind. And I was woken up during my afternoon nap today, which I'll come to in a moment. But I've had a nice day, very nice day. I went swimming straight after the radio show this morning. That was okay. I had a whole lane to myself at the George Mulder Leisure Centre today, which is great. Children are on holiday, of course, so this is the council-run swimming pool in Boston, and it's huge. And it's my favourite swimming pool that I've ever been to. And the reason being, number one, it's huge. And just as important to that, number two, it's never, ever cold when you get in. Never. It's always just about... I would say it's actually just slightly warmer than you would expect it to be. And it's lovely going into that pool. It really is. Children are on holiday at the moment, so they're in the main part of the pool, and there's a lot of them screaming and shouting. I couldn't even hear my arms splashing at warp speed in there. Couldn't even hear my arms going in. They were making so much noise. But because it's such a large pool, that's widthways and lengthways as well. Because it's so large, they managed to lane off 2 lanes. Lane off? Rope off? They managed to rope off 2 lanes, which are a reasonable width. And there's plenty of room to go back past each other. In actual fact, if you squeeze over to one side, there's actually room for someone to take over as well in these 2. Well, the end lane, yes, maybe not the next one to it. And I was in the fast lane today because there was no one. For 50 lengths, so I was in there about 40 minutes, about 35 minutes. In 35 minutes, I was the only person in that lane. Happy days. You know, blooming wonderful days. So I did that this morning. And the only thing is with that place, the showers are a bit rubbish. They're usable, but they're a bit rubbish. And they got those blooming buttons that you press and you get like 15 seconds of water cascades out of this tiny little nozzle up there. I mean, it's tiny, this nozzle, right? The water comes out there. But I found a way of jamming in the end of my into the button, and it holds the button in position. And so when there's other blokes in the shower, it's quite funny. They're looking up, how comes he's got that shower? And they can't work out what's going on. I've jammed my key into the button, you see. So I did that, came out of there, and I popped into Asda on the way back because I've run out of antacid. You know, the medicine, Galveston Advance I have. And I went into Asda for one of those. Honestly, £10.50 for one of those. And it ain't a bit... Hang on, let me show you the size of the bottle. They're not even big bottles. 1 minute. 1 minute. What can I compare... Here we go. I'll compare it against some milk. Right, let me compare it against this milk. Right. So this. Oh no, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Just a minute. Where is it now? There it is. There it is. Oh, it's the same size. It's the same size. Okay, same size. Same size. Right. So this £10.50. How big is it? Well, there's the size of a milk carton. Okay. There we are. We've got those level. There you go. £10.50 for one of those. And I accidentally swore, because I was talking to my mate on the phone. I said, how is this even £10.50 for one of those? And a little old lady overheard me talking to him. She says, oh, you don't want that one, love. Go to the chemist. Get the generic one. It's much cheaper. The trouble is, I've tried 3 of the generic ones, and they taste vile. They've got like a chemical taste to them. And by the way, I have the peppermint one. Okay, peppermint. They do an aniseed one. I don't know how anyone can drink or eat anything that tastes of aniseed. It is the most vile taste ever. And the smell. Awful stuff. Anyway, so I got this. So that's why I buy the £10.50 one. But £10.50 for that. It's dear, isn't it? Anyone else suffer from sort of bit of acid? It happens usually at night time. Yeah, so generally I have a spoonful of that before I go to bed, and that sorts me out really. Came back here, done a lovely pasta dinner. Chopped up tomatoes with some spices mixed in those, chopped up onion, chopped up pepper, fried, some pasta going on there. Put that all together, mixed it all up. Loads of hot chili pepper in there, garlic, oregano and thyme, mixed it together. Oh, delicious, with a sprinkling of cheese on top. So that was my dinner. Okay, we're getting to the fence. Don't worry, we are getting to the fence. So I had that, and then I watched a bit of telly. Now I've started watching, and I wrote it down. What was I watching earlier? The Jimmy Savile documentary. Now this has just appeared on Netflix. I've watched the first one so far, and it's about the well-known paedophile Jimmy Savile. Of course, in the 1970s, when I was a child, and he goes back even further than that, doesn't he, to the 60s. In the 1970s, when I was a child, and we used to watch this bloke on the telly, and we used to just think he was marvellous. You know, doing, in particular, the Jim Will Fix It stuff. And they were showing you many clips of Jim Will Fix It and Top of the Pops and stuff like that. And in particular, the Jim Will Fix It stuff, I'm sitting there watching, trying to sort of notice, because of course now we know he was because he's dead, isn't he? We know now that he was a paedophile, but we didn't then. And I'm sitting there watching these Jim Will Fix It's where he gets he gets a little boy to go on a plane with his duck, and another little girl, what did she do? She wanted to march up and down in a police lady's. She's only this, I don't know, about 8 years old. She had a police uniform on, and she wanted to go and protect Margaret Thatcher. And Margaret Thatcher comes on and all that. And something to do with the royal family, Prince Charles, and various Jim Will Fix It. And I'm watching this, thinking, and I'm looking, and honestly, I can't see anything going on at all. Can't see anything going on at all. Of course, it happened years later. But there was a particular interview with Selena Scott. And Selena Scott came on to be interviewed as she is now. She still looks fantastic, Selena Scott. Do you remember her? When Breakfast Time on the BBC was good, you know, when it was her and Frank Boff. And they were on there. But she was interviewing him on Breakfast Time. That was a bit creepy. That she really did not look comfortable at all there. And that was the sort of first inkling I thought of, that doesn't quite look right there, you know. But certainly watching all the Jim Will Fix It, there's no like touching or anything like that going on. It just looks all very nice, dare I say. And of course, back then it was. But we know different now, and I do feel like a part of my childhood has been robbed. Really. You know, when you watch this, and I'm sitting there watching these people doing their various Jim will fix it type things, whatever it was. And I'm sitting there with a smile on my face. Oh, how wonderful that you're able to do your dream, you know. And then it shows you him doing all this running and the Stoke man. And it's really difficult to comprehend what went on. But the proof is there. It was all there. So if you, I don't know if you want to watch that, but that's the Jimmy Savile documentary on Netflix. I think it's called Jimmy Savile, a British horror film or a British horror story, a British horror story. That's what it's called. So have a look at that on Netflix and see how you get on with that one. All right. So after that, I thought I'd have my afternoon nap, and I've gone to bed. That would be about 3 o'clock, about 3:15, and I set the alarm for 6:30. That's what time I get up to come and prepare all this and do all the rest of it business. And but I was woken up at 4:45 by banging like that. It was all I could hear was this banging, not constant. And then very quickly you put two and two together, and you notice it bangs when the wind blows. And I thought, oh God, what's that now? Something's come loose outside. The trouble is in a caravan, right? If there's a slightest bit of noise somewhere near you outside, inside the caravan it sounds much worse. Much worse. It was a couple of years ago. It was another little job done by my brother-in-law, actually, Martin, where the inside of my hall was getting wet. And he worked out that the seal under the door had gone. So he renewed the seal, but he also cut a little bit of the wooden veranda outside around the door so that any water that comes down will drop straight through, right? And then one night I'm laying in bed and it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, I kid you not, and it was raining outside and the rain stopped and all I could hear was, can you hear that or not? And I thought, that sounds like dripping water. You know, so I've come out, I've gone to the taps. No taps on. I thought, oh, God. Don't say maybe the guttering's got blocked up somewhere. Oh, well, I'll ignore it and sort it out tomorrow. Listen, you can't ignore a little noise like that once you've heard it. At 3 o'clock in the morning, inside the caravan, seriously, you might as well be banging together a pair of cymbals. It's that loud. It's really that loud. So, I went out and it took me about 20 minutes. And what it was, right, where he'd cut that little bit of wood, all right, I looked down there. I thought, I'm trying to hear where this sound's coming from. And eventually I looked down this hole. I thought, this sounds like it's coming from there. And right on the floor was a plastic bag. And it was a drip of water dripping onto this plastic bag. And that's what it was. That's what it was. Today's problem, so I went out, started looking around, but it only took me a couple of minutes. I thought, I'll have a look at the fence, because my nephew had just fixed the fence with Martin's, temporarily fixed the fence with Martin's help. And I went out, and what's happened is that it's moved slightly, because it's not a permanent fix, it's moved slightly. And where the gate was locked, you know, it's got one of those... You know, you pull it, I don't know what they're called, pull across that thing and it goes in a hole like that, yeah? And that's what locks it. This somehow was moved and the gate was open and the door was simply banging like that. Not onto my caravan, but like I said to you, the noise is amplified 100 times in a caravan. But fortunately, I mean, I can't fix things like that. I'm not that way talented to do DIY. So I just got a couple of really heavy plant pots and put them in front of the gate. And that seems to be sorted now. And that was my day. And here we are. By the way, if you did watch Martin's video, which is on Butler's Empire, okay, shows you him fixing the fence. And also, my sister was called a liar at the municipal dump here. You'll find, just go and watch the video on his channel, Butler's Empire, okay, where they talk about my sister being called a liar because they took some stuff to the dump, and the way that they seem to treat people in there, I'm not quite sure the exact dump it was, you know, where you take all your rubbish from that, but it seems to me the way they talk to people there is just outrageous. And of course, as you well know, nowadays, when you go to dump something, it's not easy. They want to look at the item, they want to charge you for certain stuff. Maybe that's why I keep finding bleeding litter everywhere. This week I have found dumped a settee. It's not a joke, a settee by the side of a field. And today, you couldn't make it up, a caravan. Literally, I found a dumped caravan today, just at the top of North 40 Footbank. I mean, surely you must be able to work out where that's come from. Don't you have, like, numbers? You know, like what you have in a car engine? You have that, like, serial number, don't you? Somewhere stamped on the engine. Or is that easy to rub out? I mean, I don't know. I'm not an expert on cars. Do they do the same with caravans? Do they have, like, serial numbers? This caravan is literally dumped by the side of the road. And another lady in the caravan, she does a little bit of litter picking. It's one of the things I like doing, litter picking. I actually enjoy doing that, you know. And she was saying, oh yeah, there's a fly tip just up the road. People literally just pull up, open the back doors and chuck everything out. Now, I'm not saying it's a good thing to do. Of course it's not. You know, I'd be really upset if I saw anyone doing that. But, you know, with the councils making it forever more difficult for you to get rid of your rubbish, what did you think was going to happen? Are these people that are running the councils, they're completely thick. They must be thick to think that they can introduce all these charges and make that difficult and that difficult and that, and they're not going to get fly tipping and stuff like that. My mate, a Christmas tree. Now, you would have thought a Christmas tree, just after Christmas, they'd make it easy for you to dump a Christmas tree. Now, he can't take stuff anywhere. He's got a little bit of a disability. And he rang up the council. Okay, do you collect Christmas trees? Well, we do, but we'll have to charge that as 3 items. So that will cost you £48. I think it was £48 to collect a Christmas tree. Now, you know, I don't know where you live. Those of you in the countryside, I bet when you're driving around just after Christmas, 10 days, 20 days after Christmas, you find Christmas trees dumped, don't you? My personal mind on that one, they shouldn't be dumped, but it's not quite as bad as perhaps dumping a wee-stained mattress or something like that. How many of those have you seen when you've been driving around? Dirty, disgusting people. Anyway, if you were watching, I made a little appearance on Martin's video this week, and my sister mentioned that I kept scratching my hands, and I just checked back on that this afternoon, and she's quite right. I'm doing this all the time in that video. The reason is I'm allergic to dogs, okay? And there's a dog, a lovely little terrier. Not sure if it's a terrier or it's a terrier. It's a sort of terrier dog, but not quite. And it is so lovely, and it loves me. And whenever it sees me, it starts yapping away. This little tail is wagging, and I go over and I start stroking it. You see, just like that, and it makes my hands really itchy, and they start coming up in white lumps. Oh, it's terrible. If you've got an animal allergy like that, it's really awful, isn't it? You know, but that's why I kept scratching my hands like that, because I'd played with the dog and I hadn't come back and immediately washed my hands, unfortunately. One of those things, anyway. One of those things. Alrighty, let's say hello to some of you on the old messages today. I'll start off with the text messages, my darlings. Alright, hello to George Bond. Evening to you, George. Hello to John Parrish. He's been watching Martin's video. Says you need new decking. I'm not sure that I need new decking. Not quite yet. No, I don't think. I'm kind of wondering if, because my decking, my wooden decking, is a little bit bad on the surface, right? And it's covered. Oh, it's pouring down. Can you hear that rain or not? It's pouring down with rain out there. I'm not quite sure if I can just pull back and take off that fake AstroTurf stuff. Would that be a good idea to do that? And just have the wood on the top? Or have we kind of missed the opportunity there? Not quite sure of that. Hello to Greg. Good evening to Greg. Hope you're well there, Greg. Good evening to Gary Ross. Evening, Gary. Evening to the lovely Maureen. Evening, Maureen. And hello to Shania Steele there. All sending a text. And you want to send a text? get straight to me. 07451 287 337 is my text number, right? 07451 287 337 is my text number. Hello to Michael Lawrence. Evening to Michael Lawrence. And Ken's Small Engine Repair. Ken is in the house. Good evening to you. Evening to you. Scrolling up there. So we can say hello to people. There we are. Dan Woodhouse is there. Evening to Dan Woodhouse. Mr. Built in Scotland. Evening to you, sir. There's our Greg. We just said hello to Greg already, haven't we? Gary Butler's in the house. Evening, Gary. Evening, Gary. Matthew Martins. Oh, we got a little tip tonight. Thank you, Matt Martins in Canada this evening. Sends me a $2 tip. Thank you very much. You can have a jingle for that. $2 tip. Thanks, Matt Martins. Long time no see. How's your little boy? You've got a girl. I think you've got a girl as well now, haven't you? Got two now. Matthew Martins. He's got a couple of children now over there in Canada. He's been with the show probably longer than almost everyone here, except maybe Shania and, of course, family members. Matthew Martin's been with the show for years, haven't you? When we were audio only, if I remember rightly, weren't we? When we were just doing the podcasts. Gosh. I'm not quite sure how long we've been doing the video now. It's got to be coming on 10 years now. Sometimes I look at old shows and I do look young, don't I? If only we could go back to those times, eh? Never mind. Let's just scroll up there quickly. I think we've said hello to everyone. Let's more name checks there. No more name check. Martz. Hello to Martz, who says it's getting cold in Nottingham tonight. Yeah. To be honest, Martz, it doesn't feel freezing cold here. It's actually not cold at all, but it's suddenly become very windy this afternoon. It seems to be getting worse. Evening to Fran Green. Good evening, Fran. Very own Rover there. Hello to Chloe Ramsey this evening. Good evening, Chloe. I scroll up fairly quickly, okay? That's why I say to you, I may miss your messages, and always the best way to do it is to send us a text there, or indeed an email. There's my email address. Where's that? There's the email. You can do an email as well. There's the email address if you want. All right. Built in Scotland says I was at the dump yesterday and the guy said I have to book my van in. So he was telling me I couldn't dump. I dumped it anyway, and he's lucky he didn't go in the skip. Oh, you're a dangerous man there, Mick. Greg's been watching the show a few years. Thank you, Greg. Evening to Carl James. He's in Manchester. Oh, I was a long time since I've been in Manchester. I DJ'd there. Oh, what was the name of the place? It must be 10 years. It was something Della. Ashby Della something? Something Della. I can't remember the rest of it now. It was like a club, and it was kind of above shops. It was above shops. Odd place, really. Odd place. Can't think where that was now. Jake, there we go. Jake and Emma, that's his two children there. Jake is now 5 years old, and Emma is 10 months old. There you go. 5 years now. I remember when you proudly emailed me, Matt, and told me that Jake had just been born. Eh? Now you've got Emma as well. Gosh, wonderful. My nephew's got a little boy now. Don't know if you know my younger nephew, Jimmy. He was 26 on Sunday, on whatever was April the 1st. He's just turned 26 now. He's got a little boy, Frank, and he's all over this little boy. It's wonderful watching him. Wonderful. Yeah, Frank the boy. Frank the little boy. Frank the little boy. Thank you, Matthew. Yes, indeed. Matthew was here when we were just doing podcast and audio only. Amazing, really. I'd only been podcasting for about 6 months, and Matthew joined us and has been here ever since. I know you're not there all the time, but no one's here all the time, you know. People pop in and out, don't they? People pop in and out. Good. Here we are. John, AstroTurf on decking is a no. Yeah, but I mean, if I remove it now, will that be good? What do you reckon, boys and girls? It's obviously a little bit late now, but the top of the wood is looking a bit iffy. It's not rotted. It's nowhere near like rotted through completely. But you can see that perhaps it's starting to become a bit damaged. Should I remove the astroturfing like now, or is it just too late? Which should I do? Back over on the text there. Evening to Jason Hughes. Evening to Andrew in Scarborough. Good evening, Andrew. Welcome along. Are you new today, Andrew? Where are you going to? Scarborough Fair. Now, we've been to Scarborough, haven't we? Yeah, we went to a haven holiday there with my nephew and his family a couple of years ago. Not in Scarborough. I think we might have drove through it or past it, one of the two. I can't remember now. One of the two. Alrighty. Okay. So on the show, I smoke AstroTurf, says Gary Ross. I wouldn't do that. It's all plastic, mate. Be very careful. You'll end up with plastic lungs, wouldn't you? Eh? Matt really has an opportunity to catch you. I know you're very busy due to your work, but he likes watching the replays. Thank you very much. Countless years of fun. I hope to be going on and on for much longer. You know, we only do the one show a week now on a Wednesday night, but that's quite nice because I do my little radio show every morning, as you know. Just in case you don't know, that is here. There it is. Look, we're all ready. That's all ready for tomorrow morning. Reachonair.com. Music and chat. I have great fun doing that. I really do. So if you've never joined us on the radio show before, it's only on for an hour. You can listen on your smart speaker. All you have to say is, you know, her name, the Amazon name, play radio station, Reach on Air, and she should play it for you. Also works with Siri. Okay? Reachonair.com on your computers. And I love doing that, 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay? Mick reckons I should take the grass off and let the decking dry out. You would know more than me. I kind of come to that conclusion this afternoon, really, as well. It's not a difficult job. It's not like nailed down or anything. It's literally placed on there. So it's very, very... It wouldn't take me long to just roll it up. We took a little bit back yesterday. I don't know if you saw in the video. And immediately we saw... I don't like them. Millipedes. Oh, all those legs. It's not natural, is it? Having all those legs. I don't like that. Evie let out a little scream. Great niece Evie. I think millipedes are on the same level to me as spiders. In fact, I'd even go as far as saying I'm more scared of millipedes than spiders. And all those legs, they all go like that, don't they? All in sort of unison. How do they do that? I know people that have got two legs and they can't put one foot in front of the other without falling over. Can they? Matt Martins, for those of us who pray, how can we pray for you these days, Chris? Don't pray for me, Mark. I'm not worth prayers, Matthew. Pray for other people. Pray for other people. Pray for the people of Ukraine. That's what we should be doing there. All right. Okie doke. We've got some more texts, have we? Let's read these. George reckons I would keep the AstroTurf. If you take it away, you probably thought it would probably be the AstroTurf what's keeping it safe. Oh, no. No, it won't be that. In fact, you see, the other thing is, of course, you know, if you've just got wood there, you know, you're more likely to see damage than if you've got the AstroTurf. One day I could just walk up there and go straight through the bottom, dear. Hopefully there will be a camera there to catch that. We might get some more viewers then, you never know. Thank you, Fran, that's it. Ashby de la Zouche. No, it's not Ashby de la Zouche. No, it's not. It's Ashby Della something. I'm sure it's not Zouche. Ashby Della. Hang on, let's try a search. Ashby Della Manchester. Let's see if something comes up there. Oh, that's saying Ashby Della Zouche. Or maybe it is. Oh, it doesn't look it. I don't think it is Ashby de la Zouche. I think it's something else. But the trouble is I can't remember what it was. Thanks anyway for suggesting. Anyone else know where that is in Manchester? I'm talking about Ashby Della something. Can't remember. Hey, John's there. Remove the turf and stain the decking. Oh, can't be doing all that. What, you just pour stuff on it and with a soft broom? Is that it? Is it as easy as that? If it's as easy as that, I'll do it. Of course, I'll wait for it to dry out first. Hey, that might look quite nice. I think that's got to come up, though. Very good evening to someone finishing 841. So you haven't sent your name, so I don't know who you are there. Okay, Mr. 841. But thank you very much, Mr. 841. A very good evening to you. If you want to text in again and send your name through, then we'll know who you are, my darling. All right, and that's just loading. I can't load that message there. There we go. Andrew in Scarborough. There he is. I've been a subscriber for a while, Chris, but was in for surgery. So I'm just getting back to normal. Oh, well, whatever you've had done, I hope you're getting well soon there. It's all about taking it easy. I mean, if you're anything like me, I tend to rush back to work as quickly as possible. I don't like sitting at home doing nothing. I expect you're probably the same. I mean, let's be honest, Andrew. There's a lot of people that they actually take great pleasure in sitting at home doing nothing and playing computer games all night, aren't they? I'm not like that. I get very, very fidgety doing nothing. Yeah, I'm all right during the daytime, do my radio show. I go swimming. I walk back if I'm at home or a car back here. I have lunch. Then I can watch a bit of television. Then I have a sleep. It's when I get up. I struggle at night. After my little nap, I'll probably get up somewhere around 6 o'clock and start looking for something to do. If I put the telly on, I'll manage about 20 minutes and then I'll have to go and find something to do. But I don't like doing mundane things. Like cleaning. I mean, I do when it looks like it needs to be cleaned. I don't sort of bleach everything once a day or even once a week, to be honest with you. When it starts looking a bit grubby, then I'll clean. I actually did some dusting in here the other day. Christ. Out here in the country, you don't really get much dust. If you're in London, it can be pretty bad, can't it? Anyway, Andrew says, sending best wishes from Scarborough, and thank you for shows. Thank you very much, Andrew. George says, ask Martin and Gary to stain your decking. Yeah, they could do it for me, but might be a little bit of a mundane task there. A bit mundane for them to do. They like to get their teeth into something that gives them a little bit of a challenge, I think. That's what they like to do. Mind you, my sister might do it. Hey, she's there. All right, sis. Hey, can you stain my decking? I might remove that grass stuff tomorrow. If I can just roll it up and leave it somewhere, I'm not sure that I'd be allowed to dump that in the rubbish here. I think I'd probably have to take that down to a dump or something like that. Yeah, maybe I'll take it. I could put it in the car, I suppose, and take it home. The only thing is it might have creepy crawlies all over it, mightn't it? I don't want those in the car. Oh. We don't like creepy crawlers, and it's a bit big to sort of put in the in a black bag, Righty, good. Righty ho. Let's just evening to our moderators. Incidentally, keeping an eye on everyone tonight. Matthew, when I hear you say the word mill, it brings back motorised Millie. Yes. Yeah, motorised Willie is wonderful. I don't speak to her very much anymore. Now and again, perhaps a little happy birthday, and that's about it, But she was a wonderful character. She used to pop into the show all the time, didn't she? But, people move on and do other stuff there. All righty, here's one for you. What is your favourite smell? Answer me that question tonight. What is your favourite smell? Because there's been an article in the Daily Mail the last couple of days, and apparently people most favourite smell is, I'll come to it in a minute, it says it's often been thought that our cultural background plays an important role in the smells we like and loathe. Is there anything that you like? What is your favourite smell? Do you have a favourite smell at all? Do you have a favourite smell? A new study suggests that people enjoy or turn their nose up at the same odours regardless of where they are from. Scientists say the smell of vanilla is universally loved the world over. And I must say, I do like the smell of vanilla. Do you? It's my favourite ice cream. Vanilla ice cream. Mr. Whippy. Oh, I haven't had any ice cream for 5 weeks due to Lent. Only 2 more weeks. You know the Mr. Whippy ice cream. Can I have an ice cream, please, mate? Yeah. And he gets his Small, medium, or large, please. I'll have a large, please. Pulls out that little cone, doesn't he? Puts it under that machine, pulls the handle down, and do you want a flake in that, mate? Yes, please. There you go. There you go, mate. Any sprinkles? No, that's okay. Thank you very much. You know. Oh. Oh. And if it's hot, it starts dripping down the side of your hands, doesn't it? Especially if you've got children. They don't seem to be able to eat an ice cream without having their entire hand encased in ice cream by the end of it. Uncle Chris, can we have an ice cream? Yes, all right then. I quite like mine up at Skegness. They dip it in this like molten chocolate as well. That's really nice. So you've got this like crisp. That's obviously, I don't know, it must be slightly warm, I suppose. And they dip it in, and it goes hard instantly. So you've got like this encased ice cream in chocolate. The saliva coming out of me now is unbelievable. My mouth is filling with liquids very quickly tonight. Oh, it's honestly, I haven't had an ice cream for 5 weeks. I can't wait. I'm not buying one at Longacres in Bracknell, though. We've got this garden centre down at the house, Longacres, and next to it has got this little wooden hut where he does ice creams. And he's like £4.50 for a bleaking cone. Don't think so, mate. Nope. You know, it comes a limit to what you want to spend. Even the ones in Skegness, they've gone up. I think they're £1.70 now. We noticed this last night when we were up there at Skegness. A lovely night at Skegness last night. Was there with my nephew Gary, which some of you saw his premiere early. Gary and Stacey, Evie and Harry. And we had fish and chips, but all the ice cream places were closed. I have to admit to you, I was secretly pleased about that, right? Because that meant that I didn't have to watch the kids eating ice cream where I couldn't have had one myself. Yeah. I have been known to have one and then go and buy a second one. Terrible state of affairs, isn't it, eh? Anyway, back to this. So it says here, scientists say the smell of vanilla is universally loved the world over, while the opposite is true for the odours of cheese, apple juice. People don't like the smell of apple juice, and sweaty feet. Oh, some people are coming to mind with the sweaty feet now. Who could they be? Sweaty feet, aren't they the worst smell ever? I know people that will not take their trainers off because they know how bad their feet are. No, come out of my mouth. I'm not going who've got smelly feet. Not telling you. Awful, smelly, awful feet. Nasty. But vanilla is the favourite, apparently. What's your favourite smell? And what's your least favourite smell? Send us a text if you want to, 07451287337, or the email chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Tell me your favourite and your least favourite smell, perhaps. And there's another one here. Bad breath. Oh. In actual fact, I would say bad breath is worse than smelly feet, because you don't usually smell other people's feet, do you? There's more chance of you going out, perhaps, to a pub or a club or a library or a shop or anywhere. There's more chance of you going out somewhere, perhaps in the next 5 minutes, and experiencing someone's dirty, smelly bad breath. And they say, "Oh, hello, Chris, are you?" Ow, blimey. And you take, so to avoid it, you take a step back and they take a step forward and you take a step back and they take a step forward and then you're against the wall and you can't escape. It's awful. Awful. Bring back masks, that's what I say. Oh dear, we didn't have any of that when we had masks. Or bits of phlegm come at you, didn't they? Firing out of their mouths. Disgusting. Awful. Do you know anyone with bad breath? Sometimes you say this sort of thing and people just, you know how these people have got no sense of humour? These people, they've got no sense of humour. They would come back with some, Oh, you shouldn't really say that. They might have something wrong with them. I mean, if we sat there saying that all the time, we'd never say anything, would we? Bad breath is a big no-no. Awful. Awful. It says here, bad breath is the result of three main chemical compounds. Main methanol. What's that? Methanethiol. I thought I was. Isn't that a drug that the kids take these days? Meths. But when you think about it, we've always been doing meths, haven't we? You used to see in the 1970s those poor, you know, tramps. It was very, very sad, really. And they used to sit there drinking meths. Oh, I don't like that smell, meths. Isn't that purple? Meths is purple, isn't it? Now, what have I used meths for before? Oh, cleaning my model, when I was a kid, cleaning my model railway tracks. Seriously, you used to go out and buy a bottle of meths, and you'd either do it with a piece of cotton wool or a piece of tissue. You'd put the meths on there and rub away at the rails, the model railway rails, you know, that the train sits on, to keep nice and clean. Or I then bought this little carriage, which was like a small carriage like that, and it had this piece of felt underneath it like that. Right, you'd pour the meths in the top, and the mess would go onto this piece of felt, and it would go around the track and clean it. Of course, it didn't clean it as well as you would do yourself because you would press harder. But that was meths. And I'm sure the kids do something like that now, meths. But now it's a powder, isn't it? Or is it? I mean, is it a powder or is it still a liquid? I don't know. Anyway, yes, apparently bad breath is the result of three main chemical compounds: methanethiol, hydrogen sulfide, and dimethyl sulfide. They produce a blend of odours including sulphur, garlic, rotting eggs and cabbage. Oh dear. I'll come to your messages in a moment. What about flatulence, farting? Great nephew Harry Butler is an expert farter. He's even better than me. I thought my nephew was good at that, but his son is even better. And he proudly will stand in front of you, turn around and fart in your face. Great niece Evie does it as well. And I keep telling you, Evie, and she's like 9, is she 9 now? And I keep telling her, Evie, farting is not for little girls. The boys do it, not girls. She does the same thing. Some of those are particularly vile, aren't they? Then they were saying the feet. Underarm odour. Now, the thing is with underarm odour, right? New underarm odour, okay? So say you've had a shower in the morning, right? Then you've gone out and done, I don't know, some walking or some jogging maybe, and you come back. That fresh smell isn't too bad, is it? In fact, it's quite nice. It's quite nice on certain people, you know. I mean, I'd very happily go and see that boxer and have a sniff of his sweat. What's his name? Leona Lewis? Lewis something? Is it Lewis? Who's that boxer bloke? Can't think now. Can't think of his name. Anthony, that's it. Anthony Joshua. Now, I bet he smells quite nice after boxing. But, you know, if you don't shower for a couple of days, that's when it becomes nasty, isn't it, eh? Oh. Old sweat. Old sweat. It must smell like old people, dear. God knows what I must smell like to other people these days. Underarm odour. It goes, most people's sweaty armpits smell of a combination of goat. Goat. There. Goat. Onion and cumin. And cumin, I must say, out of all the spices, I'm okay with the smell of spices, except cumin. Horrible smell that is. Really awful smell, cumin. What sort of smells do you like or not like? George likes the smell of petrol. Yes, I agree. I quite like the smell of petrol. I prefer the smell of diesel to petrol. And I love the smell of aviation fuel. You know what you get at an airport? Oh, that's lovely, that stuff, isn't it? Aborigines in Australia drink petrol. I kid you not. I mean, a lot of them die because of that. That's absolutely true. Sad, isn't it, really? They drink petrol, the Aborigines. Look it up. Yes, I agree. Hi to Steve Murray. Good evening, Steve. Freshly cut grass. Oh, yeah. That's lovely. Whether you've cut it yourself or maybe the council's been around the back of your fence and done the grass. The smell of freshly cut grass. Beautiful. Thank you, Steve, and good evening to you. Greg likes the smell of a new car. Oh, yes. Can't you? I think you can get sprays now, can't you? That make your car smell like it's new. Am I right with that? I'm sure you can get, or maybe a little hanging up thing. You know, like those little trees and things that you hang up. Can you? I think you can get a new car smell. And he also likes the smell of leather. Thank you, Greg. Shania, traction ending engine steam trains. Now, I know exactly what you mean with that, Shania, because as you know, we had the opportunity to do a Polar Express. Me and my mate went on the Polar Express train experience just before Christmas. And honestly, that smell as this enormous, heavy thing pulls into the station at Oxford, somewhere in Oxford it was. Wow. I mean, it really was an experience, that Polar Express. If you've got any children, or even if you haven't got children, I highly recommend that you do this Christmas trip, and you'll be able to do it in various places all over the country, the Polar Express experience. Now, they advise you, when you turn up, go in your pyjamas, obviously your pyjamas and a dressing gown. Listen, don't not do it thinking no one else is going to do it, because you will be the one left not fitting in, okay? They all do it. It's packed with children and their parents and people on their own. It's fantastic. And it is very much like the film, The Polar Express. You've got that mad conductor on there, and it's fantastic. Polar Express. But the smell. We're talking about, here comes the rain again. We're talking about the smell. It's beautiful, that smell of steam trains. She says, I've missed going to the Dorset Steam Fair and smelling the steam. Well, of course, it'd be the oil that you can smell mixed in with the steam, I suppose. I love the IKEA vanilla candles. Very nice. Oh, that's the other thing I saw in Asda yesterday. Candles. £10? Who pays £10 for a bleating candle? Are you off your heads? You know, when I go to church Sunday, they're only 20p each there. All right, they don't smell of vanilla. They're a bit thinner. It's only 20... Only 20p a candle at the church. Absolute bargain. No wonder they're not making any money, dear. Thank you very much. I'm just going to check the emails there. Hello to Jenna. Jenna Tools, hello. I love the smell of new cars inside. Absolutely. That will be happening for me in September. Thank you very much. Got my new Toyota. Got my new Toyota coming in September. I've got another RAV4 coming. It'll be the third RAV4 I've got. Hybrid. I really wanted an electric one, but the infrastructure just isn't there yet. I'm hearing stories of people that keep having to queue up waiting for an electrical charge at some of these filling stations, you know, the people that can't charge up at home, and I am one of those. I can't really charge up at home there. So Jenna likes the smell of new cars inside, hates the smell of a stinky fart. Well, you never want to meet my great nephew Harry then. He's very good at that. Jenna says, hi Chris, hope you're all well. New to the channel, thanks to Martin and your beautiful sister Sharon. Thank you very much to Jenna Tools there. Yes, we got a couple of mentions this week, both on the Retro Restore channel, or Butler's Empire channel rather, I think it was, and also Gary's premiere show that was on tonight earlier on, wasn't it? Alrighty. Okay, just popping into the chat box here, so behave yourselves. Let's have a little look here. I love Chris Reardon. Dan, I have a massive crush on Chris. That's someone called I love Chris Reardon. Listen, believe me, I've got a massive crush on myself, so you've got no chance, I'm afraid. All right? No chance whatsoever. Who's that? Who's made that one up? Jason loves the smell of Greggs in the morning. Oh, yeah. If you're talking about food places, who cannot love the smell coming out of a proper Indian restaurant? Oh, those spices that come up there. Now, I've tried making curries before, and they don't smell anything like the smells that come out of an Indian restaurant. Oh, beautiful smells. Beautiful smells. Jason likes the smell of Greggs. I also like the smell of Subway. That's got a nice smell to it, hasn't it? Subway. I don't like the smell at all of Kentucky Fried Chicken or McDonald's. Nasty, oily, greasy smell. Horrible. Horrible. Really nasty, nasty, greasy smell that is. That one. Not nice at all. Built in Scott Mickland, the smell of copper pipes being soldered. Okay, I must admit I don't know that that smell at all. That one, copper pipes. No, that's a new one on me. When would I have smelt that? The only time I really would have smelt that is when I would have had the central heating put into my house, really. And that was, oh my God, 25, 26, 27 years ago now. I remember big bloke he was, great big fat bloke he was, and he was on his hands and knees lifting floorboards and, I don't know, doing pipes and something. I don't know what they do. What do they do? You know. Anyone who's just had a boiler put in, that'll be your last boiler, I reckon. We're all going to have to find different ways to heat our homes, aren't we? I have, I know we weren't going to do this subject at all, but sometimes we go off and do other things. But I have heat pumps here. Heat pumps come air conditioning. I've got two here, one in the living room and one in a bedroom. Now, being as I'm in a caravan, it is not well insulated. Most of the time, it's okay. When it's really cold outside, as in minus, it struggles. It does struggle, not so much in the bedroom, but in the living room. Because what happens is that when it's set to heat, when it's minus degrees outside, okay, so it chucks out this hot air. But what happens is that the big fan outside starts icing up. And it has to switch then to cooling mode to un-ice itself. And for a while, you do get not freezing cold air, but cold air coming out then. And it kind of doesn't work too well in a caravan. It's good, but I would say it's not as good as central heating. That being said, I've got two units as well at my house. One in my little studio and one in my bedroom. And they're fantastic. They don't seem to chuck out the cold air because, of course, you're in a house and you've got a lot more insulation. You've got big, thick walls. I've got that foamy, furry stuff in the loft, whatever that's called. Fiberglass, is it? Oh, and that vile to touch. Oh, it's all prickly. I hate that stuff. And it works quite well at home. The air pumps in there. Fran loves the fresh coffee. Oh yeah, fresh coffee, beautiful smell. There was a place in Kingston, I remember as a child. We used to go to Kingston, do our shopping. And we used to walk past this, and it was a dedicated coffee shop. This was, of course, in the 1970s, right? When you went and bought a coffee, you just bought a coffee. Coffee, please. None of this flat white and macchiato and all this other stuff going on. You just asked for a coffee. And you got a coffee. But this particular place, it had like an outlet on its front door. And you could smell this beautiful, and in the shop window, all these different types of beans that you could go in and buy. And they'd shovel out these beans and put them in a little brown bag, and off you'd go. I don't think we ever went in there. I don't remember actually going in there. My mum liked coffee, but she'd buy the regular stuff in a jar, like Nescafe Gold Blend or something like that, you know. But the outlet was there, and you could smell the coffee going right the way up this road. It was the most beautiful smell. And Fran also says she likes to smell freshly baked bread and cakes. Oh, beautiful. Freshly baked bread. Trouble is, of course, some of you will know, like me, if you have a bread machine, deadly for putting on weight. Absolutely deadly, isn't it? You make your bread, you put it on the top. Don't ever do a quick one. It doesn't work very well, the quick one. I know, I think, I'm sure one or two of you probably do bread by hand. I bet you do, don't you? Do all the kneading and all that. But if you've got a bread machine, you just put it all in and you set the timer. Don't do it on a quick one. That doesn't work very well. Do it on the long one, which is about 4, 5, 6 hours, something like that. And it mixes it and lets it rest and it mixes it. And then it cooks it and everything, and then it goes, and then you take it out of the thing, and the instructions say leave it for half an hour or something to cool down. Not possible. Not possible. You get it out of the tin, burning your hands as you go, right? And you got to have a slice of that bread straight away, haven't you? Oh my God, how delicious is home baked bread? It's lovely. Even down at the local co-op in Bracknell, they bake the bread there. I don't think they do the kneading. They probably buy it frozen and then shove it in an oven there. And sometimes you can pick up like a French stick or a flute, and it's still warm. I'm with you on that one, my love. I'm with you on that. Let's just scroll up here. Anyone talking about smells here? Okay, let's go down there. My least favourite smell, pumpkin spice. Oh, I don't know what pumpkin spice is. I like that Christmas spice smell. Now, what's that? Christmas spices, that smell. Oh, beautiful. Or Christmas dinner being cooked in the oven. Does that remind you of when you was a child? Your mum had got up at like 5 o'clock in the morning to put the turkey in the oven and the whole house smelt of Christmas dinner. Gary Ross doesn't like the smell of tuna. No, I'm not a fan of fish, really. Not at all, not at all. Jason, fresh bread bacon and freshly cut grass. Another one for those there. All right, Gary, my favourite smell depends what I've been eating that day. Just let it rip in bed and then pull the duvet over my head. You dirty bastard. Matthew Martin's, my favourite smell is vanilla, specifically vanilla extract that you use in baking. Built in Scotland, likes petrol as well. Doesn't smell like it used to. Or a 2-stroke motocross engine. There's motorbike oil as well. I used to like that smell as well. All right. I'm going to go back down to the bottom there. Hello to Chris, SCTV fan. Love the smell of coconut. Coconut woman is very nice. Da 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 da. Coconut. Coconut is a nice smell. They do there's a lovely coconut shampoo that we used to use. I think they had it in the gym once, or the swimming pool that I used to do. They've got like an orangey cinnamon one now, which is really nice. But some idiot keeps mixing it with the blooming. Where I belong to Village Gym in Bracknell, they've got 2 things in the sauna, not the sauna, the showers. And one's supposed to be like a body wash and the other one's a shampoo. But the bleeding idiots, they keep mixing them up. Which I suppose it probably does the same thing anyway. But if they don't mix them up, one has got a really strong orange smell, which is really nice. Really nice. He hates the taste and texture of coconuts, but the smell is good. Yes. Yes. Magic brownies, fresh out of the oven. Candy floss. MP Dodsworth is having candy floss at the moment. Coal tar soap. Yeah, not keen on that one. Not keen on that one. Jason, the roast dinner cooking there. Back onto your text then. Shania says she pays £25 for a Yankee candle. Blimey. Can't you get some from the... I'm not saying you nick them, Shania, but can't you buy some from the church? Sprinkle a bit of vanilla on them. Would that work? How does that work? Thank you, Shania. Maureen loved the... Good evening, Maureen. Maureen loved the smell of lavender. Yeah. She's got some out your front door, haven't you? I've got lavender. I've got pots of lavender in my back garden. As soon as you start cutting it back, it gives off this lovely fragrance. The smell of lavender is beautiful, Maureen. Of course, some people, they dry it off, don't they? And they put it in little bags and under their pillow. Lavender fragrance is lovely. Actually, I had some cats over here. I haven't got a cat now. But I think the last cat I have, Katie, she took a liking to one of my plant pots. And I kept going in the living room and smelling this very strong smell of cat wee. And then one day I caught her and she'd climbed on the top of this pot. Of course, the pot's not that big, so she missed and she was going on the carpet. And I cleaned and I could not get rid of this cat wee smell. And then I went into the Pets at Home place. And I bought this cat wee masking thing, and it was lavender, and it was really strong. I mean, it was a beautiful smell, but very, very strong, and that got rid of the smell. You couldn't smell it after that. Lovely smell. Lovely smell that was. Thank you, Maureen. I like this. Oh, lovely smells. Lovely smells. Yeah. Vera's there. Hello, Vera. She likes the smell of baked cakes. It's the only thing, of course, most people, I think, now buy birthday cakes from either the supermarket or you can get them delivered places like Petite Valerie. Very good quality cakes, reasonably priced as well. You get a cake from Petite Valerie and it comes great big box with all these like dry ice around it because it's got like fresh cream and all that stuff in it. Oh, they're delicious, they are. But of course, you don't get the pleasure of the smell had you have baked it yourself. My nephew's wife, Stacey, she is so good at making cakes. So good. But unfortunately, I usually get there and they're made and waiting to be eaten. They haven't just come out the oven, that smell. I remember my mum, she used to cook rock cakes. And for some reason, I never ate them. I don't know why, because I quite like them. I never used to eat these cakes and they'd be like, and they'd go like brown over the top, sort of glazed. And they'd have, I think she put currants or raisins in them, something like that. And the smell in our house when the cakes used to come out. But no one does it, do they? Not many people bake these things now. I think I should have a go at baking cakes, actually. Do something like that. Yeah, do something like that. Any more on the smells? And then we're going to move on to our next little bit of chat today. Okay. Lavender plant keeps the flies away. Does it really? I've never noticed that, to be honest. Lavender plant, but I do like the smell there. Okie doke. On we go then. Have you ever sold anything on eBay? Ever sold anything on eBay? I ask you this because I was around my sister's house the other day and they were watching this programme about this bloke and he goes round to various different car boot sales. And I think you've got to have an eye to know what you can buy for a pittance and sell on to make a profit. Now, my nephew can do this. My nephew Gary's quite good at doing that. He used to buy stuff, do it up, lawnmowers in particular. He'd buy lawnmowers, do them up, sell them on. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, he's fixing lawnmowers and selling them on for a profit. And this particular bloke, we're watching him, I can't remember what his channel name was now. But he goes round and you see him going around and you don't ever pay the price that someone says, how much is that, please? It's £10. I'll give you 8. Yeah, okay then. And they always seem to give in. And he might pick something up. And there was a camera case there, which may or may not have been leather. And he picked this thing up. He says, how much is that, please? And it was 25 quid. And I thought, ooh. Now, I'm not someone that goes to car boot sales. But I looked at that and I thought, oh, £25 for that. That's a lot of money. And I personally thought, and I know nothing about this thing, 8 quid I might have been interested. 8 quid, something like that, 25 quid he was charging for this. And he just put it straight back again. Leather coats. Now, I've got a few leather coats at home, none of which really fit me anymore. Don't really know what they go for. I've got a lovely Marlborough one. You know, it's red and white. And I've got this Kawasaki one, which is like a light green colour and black and white. I think I haven't worn these things for years. They're just in the cupboard. Perhaps I should have a little bit of a clear out and see if I can sell some of this stuff on eBay. Have you ever sold anything on eBay? And how did it go for you? Did you get the money okay? Or maybe you bought something on eBay and what arrived perhaps wasn't what you expected to arrive. I saw someone some years ago now. He might have even been on Reach on Air, actually. He was a bit of a dodgy character. And on eBay, he stuck on a picture of a mixer, you know, a sound mixer. That's like a thing with lots of faders like that, so you can bring the sound in and out. And he says, you're bidding on this picture of a mixer. It is a da-da-da-da-da-da, and whatever, okay? Anyway, so someone won the bid. Say, I can't remember how much. Say it was 50 quid. The bloke sent him 50 quid. And you shouldn't laugh, really. It turns out he received, for the 50 quid, a picture of a mixer. And, of course, when the blokes complained, he says, well, that's what it says. You are bidding on a picture of a mixer. And he sent him the picture. I don't know what the outcome for that was. Shocking. Shocking, really. Let's open the phone line if you want to call in on anything like that this evening. Oh, it's already there, is it? Oh, we're already on there. 0208 144 3477 if you'd like to call in. Perhaps you've got a favourite smell you want to talk about, or a smell that you don't like. Talk to me about that. Or anything you've maybe have sold on eBay. Tell me about your experience with that. Built in Scotland uses Facebook Market. I know a lot of people use that one now in preference to eBay there. So interesting there. Only once, I tried to sell a load of records on eBay. I think it was a packet of 10 records, 12-inch singles they were, because as a DJ, we used to get these through the post free of charge, right? And I used to CD them, because I'd moved on to CDs by now. Right? So I used to CD the records, and then I would put the records back in their case, and I would try and sell them on eBay. And it was the first packet that I'd sold. So I had a packet of 10 records, which I put on there for something like £3 or £4. And someone won the bid. And I promptly sent the records off, but the money didn't come. And I sent them a message, you know, you haven't sent the money for the records yet. And they said, well, they haven't arrived, you know. And I knew I was pretty sure they'd arrived. I can't remember if I sent them on a, a registered email or something like that. But I certainly sent them off. And that's the only time I tried to sell something on eBay. Evening, Dan.
Evening, Chris.
All right, have you ever tried to sell anything on eBay at all?
Oh, yes, we've done it many a time.
What did you try to sell?
Anything really. In the old days, I used to do CDs.
All right,
Once I'd done the same as you, computerised them, of course.
Yeah.
And I was sold clothing, and always been a key thing with clothing. At least all the clothing I had sold was at least washed and ironed.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Oh, I have had clothing actually. What's the word? Sold to me. Actually on eBay, and it has come, and it has not been either ironed. One certain item, I think, one wasn't actually washed, and there was actually sweat smell.
Oh no! Oh, that's.
But anyway,
I remember years ago, Dan. We used to go to jumble sales. I mean, we used to have a lot of scout jumble sales, and we would both help out there and give stuff and buy stuff there. But everything, generally, as you walked into a room, you'd have this smell, right, in the whole hallway. But actually, most of the stuff had been washed, you know? Most of the stuff had actually been washed. But, you know, there you go. That's awful. Imagine getting something through and it hasn't even been washed. Dirty people, dear.
Yeah. Now, what I wanted to say tonight, Chris, was most important thing. there are some people who've been very naughty tonight. You might want to get the whip out.
Well, what have they done?
Well, I was coming here on the bus, and I was very ready for you. And then I got the notification on Facebook. Patsy Thomas has gone live, the great cabaret singer.
Never heard of her.
Lovely
Carry on.
woman. Yeah, so she'd gone live. I thought we'd
Right.
get her up to 7. I just got into Mum's
Yeah.
and found out that her other singing co-conspirators had gone live as well, the Kirby's. That's 3 now. 3 lives?
Well,
What did the man do?
I haven't got a monopoly on lives. They're all entitled to do their lives.
I know, it's the thing, you see. There should be some sort of like... Because, you know, I mean, when you think, even Rachel Wheatland, I mean, Rachel has, like, provided me with a lot of these, the best singers and artists, including you and all of them possible, you know. And, of course, you know me, I only go for the best, you know.
Well, that's why you're here, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's why, and that's, you know, I share and care and share alike and all that. But I should have had some, like, schedule, you know. If only there was just some schedule, you know. Oh, well, Chris Reardon's going live at 8. You know, Kirby, do you want to go live tomorrow at about 7:30? And then we'll put Patsy Thomas in at 7 before Chris Reardon. And then I might do one as well about after 9. And, you know, and unfortunately, I know, just go. I would love to be actually to organise all that and then have myself as Linksman.
Well, technically, it's actually very easy to do that, right? I'll tell you how that would happen. Everyone would have to agree to go on a YouTube channel, right? Now, once a channel is live, someone logs into it and you're on, okay? If I was to stop streaming now from my software, the channel wouldn't close. It would wait there for me to switch stream on again. So all you'd have to do is give everyone a time, say you 7 to 8, me 8 to 9, someone else 9 to 10, and at 8 o'clock, when you finish, you would stop streaming and I would start streaming to that same channel, and to the viewer, as far as they're concerned, it's all coming from one place, except it's not. We're just logging in and out of this thing which waits there for the next one to start. So technically it's extremely easy, but there would have to be an immense amount of trust between everyone, because you'd all have to have the same password and all must stick to their times. You know, now I'm probably, as you realise now, I'm very good at sticking to time. I don't have to stick to time on this, but certainly on the radio show, 9 o'clock, when I finish at 10 o'clock, it's 10 o'clock, right? If I don't finish at 10 o'clock, I would be cut off anyway by the automation in the system. The only thing is, YouTube is not automated. So you'd have to say to the next person, and they'd be watching you, so at 10 o'clock, they log off and you log on. And it would be as easy as that. If I could give you my details now, my username and my password to this, and then when I stop streaming on YouTube, right, you could then start streaming on that same channel as what people are watching this now, and that's how that would work. Very easily. But
Yeah.
I don't think you'd ever be able to get. You'd have to have a lot of people all agreeing on exactly the same thing. And you know what people are like? They start rowing and then it all falls apart. Someone goes in and changes the password and you're all up in the air.
Yeah. Does that actually mean so? It would then actually stay live. It would look like it was live all the time. It wouldn't like say stop after one and then like as soon as it went to another person, that would then be a different live video.
Well, you've seen sometimes I freeze, yeah.
Yeah.
Generally, what happens when I freeze, if it's not the computer, it's say the connection drops out, the way you're watching me won't stop. It will wait for me to reconnect, yeah?
Yeah.
But similarly, it could be someone else that connects to it, and it would just be on the same channel. It's very, very easy to do it. Hello to Christina Hunt, who's just woken up. Dear me, Christina. Hello, darling.
What? Just woken up?
Yeah, she's just woken up, Christina.
I've been out since
Shocking
7
state of
this morning.
affairs. What, 9:15 at night, my love?
Yeah, I know. Oh, God.
She's still getting used
look
to
at me.
the-
I'm at it 24/7, even longer at weekends.
She must still be getting used to the hour change.
Yes. And the AM/PM difference. Yeah, so all that sounds really nice. What else was there? Oh, yeah, smells. I'll give you a smell. I bet you've never had this one. Many years ago, when Romford was actually a brewery site,
Yeah.
Romford was known for its breweries.
Right.
You know, these days the brewery is a shopping complex. Back then, 30 years ago, it was a real brewery.
Yeah.
And what happened was, not every time you came to Romford, but only sometimes, you get here and the place would smell normal. Suddenly, though, there would be this awful smell would come across the whole of Romford.
Was that when you got up, was it?
Is it what?
Was that when you pulled back the covers to your bed?
No, I didn't live in Romford then.
Oh, right.
This is 30 years ago.
Maybe the wind was blowing that way, no?
Not from my mum's, it's too far away. But this smell, you just couldn't you couldn't tell you what it was. It was bloody awful. But then one day, I remember being at the bus stop with Mum, and I said, "Oh, Mum, it's that bloody smell again." Oh, and then I think there's someone behind us, and she I said, "I wish we knew what that was." I think this woman behind. Oh, it's coming from the brewery.
Oh dear, yeah.
But I still never knew exactly the technical reason behind it.
I know that smell. We used to get it a lot in Mortlake. There's Watney's Brewery in Mortlake, and also the Young's Brewery in Wandsworth, because I used to work near both of these places. Wandsworth Brewery, the Young's Brewery in Wandsworth, that was right opposite the British Telecom telephone exchange where I used to work, and that smell used to drift there. But it was actually it seemed to be worse in Mortlake at the Watney's Brewery. And we used to drive past there, and the smell was just it wasn't a really horrible smell. It was more of a sort of an annoying smell. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And also, one of the worst smells as well, and it's not very good if you're like me and you're a cat lover, is the actual pet food. Now, why on earth do pet food manufacturers make this pet food that is just so obviously looks bloody awful, and it just smells bloody awful as well?
Yeah,
now,
you're right.
Cat.
No, you're right. When you open a tin of beef stew or something like that, it doesn't smell like pet food, does it?
No.
So why does pet food smell? It must be the same stuff. Why does pet food smell like that?
Yeah. What do they do with it? And that's why I just rather give a cat, I just like them stuff that you can just have in your hand, and they just more or less like eat out your hand. I know it's a bit dry. They probably need water with it, but I've seen a lot of people actually give their cats and dogs, well, mostly cats, these dried things, and they seem to have them like as if that's their regular dinner or breakfast, whatever.
Well, they I think some of them are just a meal. My those dried cat food biscuits. My niece, when she was a little girl, my mum used to catch her in the cupboard eating those. She's 35 now. She used to eat cat biscuits. My niece.
This was your
Tracy.
Oh God.
She used to eat cat biscuits.
Oh my God. Hasn't it got anything on the side of it, labelling out these are not for human consumption?
Well, probably, but she was a little girl then. She wouldn't have been able to read it, would she?
Well,
she was about 6 years old
a
then.
bit like the similar reason.
Do you know, I can now see her in my head at the cupboard underneath the kitchen eating those cat biscuits.
Yeah, well, it might be the same reason why now they've had to put that label on the washing up, the washing things. Those are they the actual gel dosey gel packets?
Dosey what?
I don't know. They're the things that you use for washing. There's something on them on one of them now about.
The washing tablets.
Keep.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Some of that washing up liquid is a nice smell, isn't it? as it not washing, not dishwash, for the washing machine, the washing liquid. That's a nice. Even the washing powders are quite nice smells, aren't they? I've got a
well,
new
it's just
fabric.
certainly.
I've got a new fabric conditioner from
Yeah.
Aldi actually, strawberry. Oh, it's lovely, lovely. I wonder how many children accidentally drink that. I bet there's a lot of children accident and end up in blooming hospital having their poor tiny little stomachs pumped and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, didn't you ask earlier why is meths purple?
Yes.
Well, it's only because I was told that's not proper meths. Real meths, known as industrial methylated spirits, is actually clear.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, the actual the stuff that you get in Wilco or Woolworths in the old days.
Yeah.
Why that's purple? That's only dyed purple,
Right.
so
right.
that people can tell the difference between that and water.
Yeah.
So-
There's another smell I don't like. Turpentine. White spirits.
Yeah.
Oh, it's vile, that stuff. And you use that to what? And you can't get it off your hand, can you? You can't get that smell off your hands.
Well, sometimes you have to use that to actually get paint off your hands.
Have you ever done
That's the thing.
painting? Do you do painting at all?
Yeah, oh yeah, I've done it.
Oh, do you?
I used to do it with the
Oh.
models in my day.
Oh, you do painting and decorating in your house? In your flat?
No, I did it mostly with models,
Oh.
actually.
Do you paint and decorate your rooms?
I would, but my mum always gets someone in anyway.
Oh, does she? Yeah, okay. Probably
yeah,
best.
she just, yeah. But the bit of painting I have done with models and all that, it's just been, as I did all the old
Well,
humble enamel paint.
You
and
paint
stuff,
models? Models?
Yeah,
What,
we
like,
used to do
like,
that.
like Katie Price? Is that you paint people like that? Is that what you do? Linda
If
Lusardi?
only if I just love to get a nice bit of black paint over and just go.
Oh, you paint black models? What, like Naomi Campbell?
Just say to them, just don't darken my doorstep again. And never know, that was a crap joke.
Yes.
But yeah, no, we used to have real models, as in model items, not model people.
Oh, like little planes and things like that?
Yes.
Planes and cars and automobiles or whatever it's called.
Yeah, and I realised in adult time now why they look so bloody awful.
Yeah,
once I made
well,
them.
that's how it is,
It
isn't
was actually because they give me this tube. What was it? I forgot that. What was that adhesive we used to use?
Air fixed glue.
Polystyrene cement. That was it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That wasn't a bad
Yeah,
smell,
and-
though, was it? That wasn't
Well, no,
bad.
but you could never control it.
You can understand
coming
how
out
these
the
kids
thing,
become
you know.
addicted to glue sniffing because it smelled so nice. Except
Oh.
copy decks. I didn't like the smell of copy decks.
Oh, copy
No.
deck, yeah.
No.
Otherwise known as latex adhesive.
Oh, vile stuff. I tell you what smelt nice. Pritt sticks. Pritt sticks. Little stick. They were like, or they are like, lip, whatever it's called. Lipsticks.
Strawberry
You
lip
used to turn
balm.
it, a little bit of Pritt stick would come out and the smell, but that was a nice smell. And magic markers. Magic markers. Mmm.
I think we had something in school called Magic Cleaner.
Yeah. For a moment then, I thought you'd just died because you went all quiet.
That was me thinking of the next line.
Yeah. Takes a lot of thought, that, for you, doesn't it?
Yes, I have
Yes.
to think, So it happens to me this time, and I could spend all day rehearsing on something. By the time I get here,
Yes.
it's all just gone.
Yes. Well, there we are then. Well, Dan, thanks for your enthralling call today.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Cheerio.
See you the next
Bye,
one.
Dan. Bye. There we are. The Dan Woodhouse Wednesday night call. Always have to have that. Hello to Marshall Woodford, who's just joining us on the show today. Good evening, Marshall. Whereabouts are you in the world? Christina's in the house, aren't you, my love? Hello to Christina. Don't know. Check the text for you. Vera says, my mother tried to fry an egg with washing up liquid once. Oh dear. She had put the oil and washing up liquid in the wrong cupboards. I'm sure I brushed my teeth or something. I did that something. I've either sprayed the wrong thing or used the wrong toothpaste or something like that before. I'm sure I've done something like that. All righty, you want to call in? The phone line's open, 020 8144 3477 if you'd like to call in on the show today. Moving on then. Some free biscuits. Who wants free biscuits? Who wants free biscuits? Anyone? Because the lorry load's gone off. Actually, they'll probably be collected now. I took a picture out of one of the papers yesterday. There you go. Biscuits. What's your favourite? In the Daily Star yesterday, it sounds like someone's taken a biscuit, but drivers heading back at rush hour saw their travel plans crumble when an overturned lorry spilt packets of digestive biscuits everywhere. And they look like the real thing, don't they? It's the McVitie's one. I was going to say McCoy's then. It's the McVitie's one. Drivers heading along a country road had their rush hour plans chewed up. Who writes this stuff? Chewed up when a lorry load of biscuits spilt onto the ground. Packets and some crumbs from several McVitie's brands could be seen strewn across the road in Derbyshire following a malfunction on the outside of the heavy goods vehicle. Look at those. Biscuits. You want them, don't you? Come on, admit it. No good to me. I'm sorry, dear. I can't see a little layer of chocolate on top of those, can you? Gary Ross likes ginger nuts. Yep. Strong ones, oh, mind, Gary. Sometimes you get these ginger biscuits and they're not very strong, are they? What's the point? It's like these people that buy mild cheese. What's the point in buying that if you can't actually taste the cheese? Mind you, going back to smells again, we talked a lot about smells tonight. Smells, some of those cheeses are vile, aren't they? There's a particular one I've mentioned a few times on the show. I was doing some DJing in France some years ago at a skiing resort. I did it for quite a few years, about 4 or 5 years I did this particular job. And at lunchtime, they always used to wheel out this cheese, which had like heating underneath it. It was heated underneath. It was like half a circle. And they cut these... Oh, it stank to high heaven, that stuff. Absolutely stunk, that stuff. It's awful. Awful. Yeah, I built in Scotland. Bourbon creams. They're quite nice, aren't they? Bourbon creams. I like custard creams. I think I might even prefer custard creams to chocolate biscuits, unless, of course, they are Cadbury's fingers. Oh, how many? Do you ever do that thing? You know, with the Cadbury's fingers, you open the box. Have you ever tried to see how many you can get in your mouth? So nice. Cadbury's chocolate fingers. Hello, who's on the line, please?
Hello there, Steve.
Hello, Steve. All right, Steve. Mr. Murray.
Yes.
Hello. How are you? All right?
Not so bad, thank you. Talking about the smells.
Yes, what smells don't you like?
Well, I certainly was, mate. My cat's breath.
Your cat's breath.
Paddy, you were just talking about cat food.
That's right, yeah.
Cat food.
Yeah.
Well, the catty smell of her breath after she's eaten it, you know, the biscuits.
Yes, I do know. I do know.
Absolutely. Absolutely stink. But your channel's excellent. And I think that would be a very good idea if you could have a channel open where you could have different things coming in there.
You could. As I say, technically it's very easy. But the trouble is, and there's probably another way around that which is beyond me because I'm not that technically able. I can do certain things. As I mentioned it to you, that method of doing it is possible, but everyone would share the password and the username, and everyone.
I tell you.
Go on.
Sorry, I was going to say. I'll tell you another thing that would be good with your channel is interviewing other people from YouTube channels so they can promote their channels.
No, I see this all the time, and quite frankly, it doesn't do it for me. I've seen, you know, when you see like people use, now what's the software? StreamYard, I think it's called, or SoftYard, something like that. And you've got all these different people, like 5, 6, 9, sometimes even more, and they're all talking. But it's not it's more like lots of people talking to each other rather than a show, and that's not really what I do. That's not really what I do. I get what you're saying. I completely get that. But there are also a lot of people already doing that anyway. So, you know, but that sort of that way of doing it, nothing wrong with it. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. But that's how they do it, and this is how I do it. So there we go. I quite like the way of people calling in as well. Almost like a radio show, really, isn't it? Where they call in there.
Well, it is. It's excellent. Excellent.
It's funny
anyway,
though.
Lovely speaking to you.
I was just going to say, Steve, it's interesting to note, actually, we don't really get many phone calls at all. But it's not just like a tiny little channel like this thing that I'm doing now with, a couple of dozen people perhaps watching. Even LBC. Sometimes I listen.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
I watched the South House on the Retro East. Was it the Retro channel on the singing Bob earlier? And I thought I'll put it on and watch it. It's very good too.
Yes. Yeah, but I was just going to say, even on LBC, sometimes they struggle for calls because, as you probably found, most people don't want to call you anymore. They just want to send a text. And it's like these texts going backwards and forwards. And I find them just so impersonal, Steve, don't you? Whereabouts are you, by the way?
Isn't it? It's nice to have a chat with someone.
Oh, yeah. Where are you, Steve?
Dagenham.
Oh, Dagenham in Essex, are you?
Dagenham and it was funny. The chap was just saying about the brewery and the smells that were coming across there.
Yeah.
I can remember that, and I think it was the hops. It was a bitter smell. Bitter.
That's right. Where did you get it? In Dagenham?
Well, when we used to go to Rumford shopping,
right,
you could smell it. Exactly what that man was saying. And it was like a bitter, vile, bitter smell.
That's right. It's not particularly nice smell, is it?
No, but it's all gone now. It's a shopping, like a shopping area now with like the range and all that on there. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's
all gone now.
Stuff changes, and it changes quickly. You
It
disappear
does.
from an area for 5 years and go back there, and like buildings have gone, and a shopping centre has shot up somewhere. I'm always amazed at how quickly they put up a supermarket. They go up ever so quickly.
Changing.
Yeah, they really do. Anyway, nice to talk to you, Steve.
And to you.
Thanks so much for calling in. Cheerio now.
No problem. Bye-bye.
Bye, Steve. There we are, Steve in Dagenham. There's a new person there. Lovely to have someone new call in tonight. 020 8144 3477 is my phone number. Incidentally, gang, as you can probably tell, it's a local London number, okay? It's not a premium rate number. There's no 50 pence a minute or anything like that. It's a local London number you're calling if you want to call in tonight, okay? Vera says, I lived on custard cream biscuits when I was at school. Is that right? Custard creams. Yeah, I like those. And she also, Vera works for Sainsbury's. She says, I'm glad it wasn't a Sainsbury's lorry. It looks more like a Tesco's one. Does it? I don't know, really. Let's have another look at that lorry, shall we? Where are we? There we go. Biscuits. Oh, it does, doesn't it? I wonder if that does look like a Tesco's lorry. What's that big bag? Can you see that big, like, blue bag there type thing that perhaps they were all in there, weren't they? Wonderful. Right, just a second. Let me just go back to this here. Where are we? Camera and phone. There we are. Just talking to Christina. Good evening to Daniel Walsh joining us this evening. Good evening to you, Daniel. Welcome to our little show there. How are we doing on time? I tell you what, I've got a little video that I made. I want to get this in now in case we run out of time. And let me just have a little glass of water. I've got a little video to show you now. George Bond, I do hope you're still with us. George, because you're going to be very interested in what I'm about to show. Can you let me know you're still there, George? Okay? I hope you're still there because you're going to be very interested in the beginning of this little video that I'm going to show you because we thought about you last night. And I'll come to that in a second. So let us know you're still there, George. Broadband. As you know from a few shows that have gone past now, my broadband contract at home is coming to the end. I'm with Virgin Media at the moment. I'm paying £31 a month for 200 meg down and 20 up. Okay? So I've been looking around, and there are deals out there to be done which would perfectly suit me, including the one from 4G broadband. Before some of the new people who are watching the show tonight say to me, oh, you don't want the 4G broadband, it's no good. That's how I'm coming to you tonight. I'm coming over 4G broadband, because here at the Caravan come Luxury Waterside Media Centre, which is just a caravan, right? Okay, we have no cable coming in here at all. I have 4G broadband, and this show is coming to you via that method tonight. And from the look of things, we've had a really stable connection all night long, and it hasn't cut out at all, so I'm quite pleased about that. I did try it at home, and it works. I think it would probably just about work there. The down speed there is about 25 meg, I think I got. 20 meg, 25 meg. No, actually it wasn't that. No, the down speed at home was about 11 or 12 meg, and the up speed worked out to about 15 meg, which should cope with this show, okay? The cost of that, £14 a month. £14 a month. And I cancelled my Virgin Broadband. Phone call number 1. Oh, please stay with us. How much can you do it? And it was due to go up from 31 to 55. Okay. They didn't do anything on the first call. Phone down. Second call, they offered me £37. Okay. And I said no, phone down. And then the Reconnections called me. And they said, what have you been offered? £18 Vodafone, £14 4G. Okay. He said, right. He said, is 200 meg, can you do 100 meg? I said, no, because the 100 meg has only got about 9 going up. Okay, which may not quite be enough for me to do my video shows. So I would need the 20 meg going up. Okay, he said, I'll tell you what. He said, before I tell you this, that price you see on the computer, he said, as a loyal customer, which I have been with them for years now, Virgin Media, you will never pay that price. He said, always ring up. This is the bloke from Virgin Media talking to me. Always ring up when you're just about 1 month to the end of your contract, and we will do you the deal, and I can do you your deal tonight at 35. So that's from 31. Oh, just a minute. There you go. Is that better? How long had that been quiet then? Please don't tell me it was for ages. How long had I gone quiet? Did you hear any of that? Did you hear any of that? I'm just wondering, what was the last thing? Let me ask one person in particular. Vera, what was the last thing you just heard me talking about, Vera? As a matter of interest, I see what I've done there. You got a buzz then, didn't you? You were getting buzzing instead of me. I'd switched off the mic and left the phone on rather than the other way round. What was the last thing you heard me say, Vera? Can you let us know? It was when the phone went down. About 30 seconds. Vera, was it the phone call, the last thing you heard? I'll wait for Vera to reply to that. Because if so, I'll... Or was it when someone was trying to call in? Oh, hang on. Let's go in the chat box and have a look. I think the Skype sound. Ah, okay. So when the phone went, okay. So you heard all about the Virgin Media thing, all right there? You heard what happened there? Okay, basically I've signed up with Virgin Media again. It's gone up from £31 a month to £35 a month, and for that I get 200 down and 20 up, and that's really good. Okay, so I was mentioning the £35 deal. That's what I've gone. So I've stayed with Virgin Media for the speed, basically, and that's signed up for 18 months again. Fantastic. But always, 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 when you're getting to the end of a contract, right, ring them up. Be prepared to walk away. You've got to have in your mind, well, if you don't get the deal that you think is reasonable, if you don't get the deal you think is reasonable, you've got to walk away and go with someone else. And I was all prepared to do that. I tested out on the 4G and all that, but I'm staying with Virgin Media now. All righty. Thanks to those of you texting when the sorry about the sound going dead. Seriously, I pushed the wrong button. Right, so George is with us, I'm pleased to say. So George, you're going to enjoy in particular the beginning of this video that I'm about to play you. We went for a little trip to Skegness yesterday. Okay, this is from Skegness, what you're about to see, and also the journey going down there. Now, I'm going to have to narrate this live because I haven't prepared it, so I'll be watching it the same as you. So first of all, George, watch this carefully. Tell me where we are. Can you see that? There we are, on our way to Skegness. And what you're looking at there, on the other side of the road, is another caravan park, and that is where George stays when he goes caravanning. There you go, the lakes. I thought you might like that, George. Lovey. Look what you're missing. Skegness seafront, darling. You could be here, enjoying the wonders of Skegness with evil people searching for starfish. Isn't that interesting? And can you see in the distance there? Look carefully. Beautiful. Windmills turning, providing free electricity for the millions of people. Thinking. One thing they do in Skegness, this is near the seafront, they always do this every year, and they've obviously just done that. Beautiful. I think they're primulas or pansies, one of those two. And that's stunning what they've done there. Look at that. And sometimes we sit on those benches, you see there, and have fish and chips with the family. That's not Pampas grass. Is there some dodgy people there? Oh, donuts! Look at those lamps they've got there. They're like curled over. They've got projectors on them, and they project onto that lovely pavement and bit of road there. Now you're about to see the trawler's catch. You see that mauve and yellow there? That is the trawler's catch. So if you ever go to Skegness, you've got to go there, and it's very near that clock. I'm not sure whether it's leaning over or not. I think it's an optical illusion, that. That's at the end of the road. There we are. It's me about to throw great nephew Harry down. Here. Bingo time! Red 5 and 1, 51. Yellow 2 and 3, 23. And we finished off at... Oh, what's it called now? I thought when you come here, we could stay in a little bit of luxury. They had their very own Savoy Hotel here. See? 5-star accommodation. And that was our little trip to Skegness yesterday. Wonderful day. Wonderful. Not busy at that time of night or anything like that. Blooming wonderful. Hello to the dark side, evening to the dark side, who says windmills that have now caused massive graves off propellers. Massive graves off propellers? What do you mean massive graves off propellers? I don't get that. Let me read it again. Windmills that have now caused massive graves off propellers. Do you want to rephrase that? I'm not quite sure what you're saying there, my darling. Try that again, and I'll try and pay full attention again. Thank you very much. Okay. Hello to Michael Lowry. Good evening to Michael. Thank you very much. Scrolling, just scrolling. There we are. Good. Anyone else want to call in? Nice and quick. You can call in now. 07451 287 337 is my local London number. Vera, who's with us tonight, incidentally, she had a terrible day at work yesterday, didn't you, my love? Have you ever had a bad day at work? Ever having a bad day at work? She says, yesterday she works at one of the Sainsbury's. She says, yesterday at work, I can hear a bit of a hiss coming through. Where's that coming from? You can't hear that, can you? No. Because if I've got a button here, this is where the phone call is, right? If there's no call, you get a buzz. Listen. I think you get a buzz, don't you? Oh, there we go. Oh, there's a call there. Hang on. There's George. Good evening, George.
Good evening, Chris.
All right?
Yes.
Did you recognise those pictures?
Can I just say that's not where I used to go?
Isn't it? Well, that's what my nephew said.
No. Called Sycamore. It's called Sycamore Farm.
Sycamore Farm. Oh, well, we stand corrected then. My nephew was convinced that's where you go and do your fishing when you stay with your grandpa. Is it that takes you to the caravan place?
Yeah. No, it's called Sycamore Farm.
Oh, well, I beg your pardon then. Yeah, I got that wrong. Apologies to you.
Yes. But, however, this year, I will be going down there.
Oh, right, okay. Why are you not going to the one you normally go to then?
Because the price has gone up down there.
Oh, have they? Yes.
Yes.
This happened just after the pandemic. Some of these caravan places and places like that started charging silly money, and the reason being is that because people couldn't go abroad. So they started charging people a lot of money to stay in caravans. I mean, really silly amounts of money, and that's obviously happened to where you are.
Yeah. I'm going down with my mum and my stepdad this year.
Lovely. And is that where you'll be going with the pictures I just showed you?
Yeah.
Right, lovely.
Because my nan and papa, well, my nan's all right, it's my pap, is too poorly.
Is he not well at the moment, darling?
No. We all of us, me and my nan and my paps, just finished COVID.
Right.
Yes.
Perhaps has it affected your pap a little bit more than other people, has it?
It affected my pap and my nan.
Right. Is it the breathing?
Yes. Yeah, and they've both been coughing and sneezing and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I hope they get better soon. It might take them a little bit longer than you because you're much younger, you see.
Yeah. I had it about 6 days and then I got rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah, some people do. Some people do very quickly. Some people seem to go on for ages. I know a couple of people with long COVID, and they seem to be always breathless. But other people, it just depends on the person, really. Children seem to be able to quite easily throw it off if they've got nothing wrong with them.
Yeah. Oh, change subject, by the way.
Yeah.
I blocked that person.
Did you block them? Good.
Yeah.
Anyone who upsets you, George, don't row with them in the chat box. It's just very self-defeating. It upsets you. It upsets them. If you get fed up with them, simply just block them, and that's it. Problem gone. Problem gone. It's as easy as that, my darling. All right. You don't need negativity in your life. People winding you up. People saying things that haven't happened. Just get rid of them, darling.
I knew it weren't true. That's why I sent it to Gary.
Oh, did you? Okay. Well, don't mention names or anything like that, We won't mention names or anything like that. But whoever it was and whatever it was, as I say, just block them. And if you've done that already, then all well and good. You don't need to put up with that. Some people, they say things sometimes and they hide behind it as a joke or stuff like that. You don't need that. You just don't need it. Don't need it. And Dan Woodhouse says, who did he block? Dan, I don't know, and it's none of your business anyway. So that's it. We're not interested who he blocks. I'm not going to get involved in any politics on here or anything like that. There we are.
Dan hasn't realised. I'm just going to say, I'm surprised Dan hasn't realised.
Oh, right, okay. What else have you got for us tonight, George?
I've been out with my mum today.
All right, where did you go?
I went to my old college.
Yes.
Yes, and I went to B&M.
Yes.
And I've been to McDonald's.
Oh, no. Very bad.
No.
Don't be telling me you went in there and bought a bag of carrots.
No, for the ice cream.
Just the ice cream? Yeah, okay. All right then.
Yeah.
Which one did you have? The cream egg one?
Yeah.
That is nice, isn't it? I haven't had an ice cream for nearly 6 weeks now.
And what else did I go? Oh, not a lot. I'm going over there on Sunday.
Right.
Because my mum's stepdad has got because they live together. Their house is quite longer than mine, and I can shoot in their garden.
Oh, you're not shooting people again, are you, my love?
No.
No, with your bow and arrow?
No. I won't. I won't be shooting anyone, because if I miss, I'm only going to hit a brick wall anyway.
Well, it does worry me when you've got that bow and arrow out, to be honest, especially as the back of your garden is someone else's garden as well. I really, when you used to send in those videos a couple of years ago, my heart was in my mouth, worrying that you was about to hit someone. It really was.
I'm going to send another video soon anyway. I haven't sent one for a long time.
Right, okay.
Because I've got another new bow.
Another new what? Another new bow?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. So yeah, that's been my day.
Not long to Easter, eh, George? We'll be having hot cross buns and Easter eggs. Hot cross buns are for Good Friday, and Easter eggs are for Easter Sunday, not before. I've got to say, I was horrified. Was it last night or the night before? I went round to my nephew's house, and both my great nephew Harry and great niece Evie are eating an Easter egg before Easter. Shocking state of affairs, dear. Shocking.
I'm going to hope, fingers crossed, when I go down Skegness, you're at your caravan.
Oh, well, my caravan isn't near Skegness. It's not really near. I'm about between 45 minutes and an hour away from Skegness.
I'm saying when I'm in Skegness, hopefully I'll bump into you.
Well, you never know. That might happen. Will your nan be there as well? I don't think she'd want to meet me.
No, it's just going to be my mum and my stepdad.
Oh, your mum? Yeah, well, that would be okay. Yeah. When are you going again?
I don't know. My mum's planned it all.
Is she? Lovely.
Yes.
Lovely.
At Sycamore Lakes.
Lovely. You'll have a nice time there. I'm going to look that up later. Sycamore Lakes, you say?
Yes.
Sycamore Lakes. Okay, George. Right, you have a lovely evening. Thanks for calling in, George.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheerio now. Bye, George. There we are. A nightly call from George. Once a week he calls in. Lines are now closed, boys and girls. No one else call in, please. If you call in now, you'll get an answer phone come through. All right, my darlings? And we just want to get through a few more little bits here. Where did we go? Michael enjoyed the video. Thank you very much, Michael. Glad you enjoyed the video there. Right. I did press the right button then, didn't I? There's so many buttons to look at here. Shania says you didn't treat yourself on St. Joseph's Day then. In what way should I have treated myself? What, you mean with an ice cream? Or a cake? Or crisps? Certainly not, Shania. I have stuck this year to all my Lent things. Not only that, I've lost 5 pounds in weight. Hey, thank you very much. Eh? Yes. No cakes. No it wasn't biscuits, was it? No cakes. No bread. No crisps. No ice cream. No sweets. I have stuck to it. Do you know what? I bought an apple pie. My sister says, oh, you can't have that. That's cakes. No, it's not. It's an apple pie. Have you noticed when you do things like that, Shania, people try and trip you up. They take great pleasure in finding something you haven't quite done right and then telling you about it. You notice that, Shania? No treat for St. Joseph's Day or any day. No treats until Easter Sunday and Good Friday, because hot cross buns are really bread, but you can only have them on Good Friday, can't you? Not like these other people on here, dear. Christ, every day of the week they have another hot cross bun, dear. No, Good Friday, maybe Easter Sunday, Saturday as well. Good Friday, Easter Saturday, that's it. No more hot cross buns till 2023. Let's hope we'll still be here, my darling. George says my nan is already eating hot cross buns. Oh, no. Too early, dear. Too early. Now, let's get to this email. I want to get a couple of things in before we disappear tonight. Thanks ever so much. Lots of new people joining us tonight via Martin and Gary's channels. So thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. By the way, there's something else I do as well that you might be interested in, and that is a live karaoke show. You can find that on Friday and Saturday nights around about 7:30, 8 o'clock. And on Tuesday nights around about 8:30, 9 o'clock. And that is a separate channel. If you have a look on featured channels, you'll see both my nephew's and brother-in-law's channels there. Also, you'll see a channel, Karaoke London, all right? That is the channel you'll see the live karaoke streams. So just do a subscribe on there and you'll be able to watch us on Friday, Saturday and Tuesday nights. All right, we do have the chat box open as well. Here we are. Shania, eating things you have given up. No, none of that. Thank you very much. She says, you are allowed on St. Joseph's Day as it is a feast day. Solemnity. I enjoyed some chocolate. You are allowed to celebrate. So have I missed it? Have I missed it, Shania? Can I carry that over onto another day? Or have I, you know, like with Vodafone or Sky, you can carry over minutes you haven't used. Well, I haven't used St. Joseph's Day. Can I carry that now over to another day of my own selection? Is that how that works? I shall have to have a word with Father Danny and see what he says. Oh, dear. By the way, a little thing with Shania and me, I couldn't find anyone to sing the psalm. I could sing it, right? But I don't want to because, you know, I feel like that's pushing myself forward. And we are there for the church, not the other way round. Do you know what I mean? But I can't find anyone to sing the psalm. No one's come forward, unfortunately, which is a shame. She says, yes, you have missed it. It was the 19th of March. Sorry, you're not allowed to change it. Oh. So it's not like the Sky mobile phone where you can take over your minutes to another day, no? It's all right. It's only another couple of weeks, isn't it? Thank you, Vera. It's only another couple of weeks. Not too long to go now. Oh dear, I'll be because we have one of the places I do karaoke is on Tuesday nights at the William Morris Bar in Walthamstow. That's where it is, Tuesday nights. Right, I didn't do it this week because someone else did it this week, and it worked quite well. I had a nice lot of people in there this week. But yes, I'm there every Tuesday night, and one of the things I do there is give out free crisps. Now, when I say free crisps, if you turn up there, don't be going and taking 3 or 4 bloody bags, because I'll have you. I'll have you, right? Don't take the mick. They have a few bags of crisps, and you're allowed a little bag of crisps each. And they know I've given up crisps, and we have the devil in disguise there, otherwise known as Mr. Paulstone, who's one of the owners, or one of the like managers type thing. You know, they rent the place. Okay. He has been tempted me with frazzles. Oh, go on, Chris, have a bag of those. They're not crisps, honestly. Yes, they're crisps. They're crisps. The devil has been tempting me there. If there's anywhere, Shania, where I've been tempted more than anywhere else, it's been at the William Morris Bar, where I do the karaoke on Tuesday nights. Shocking state of affairs. The devil has been in disguise there, tempting me, as it says in the Bible, my love. It's outrageous, it really is. Shania says St. Joseph has selected this day and doesn't want to change it. Fair enough. All right. Thank you very much. Now, what were we going to do next? Just a minute. Let's just have a talking about names there, are they? They're talking about names, I don't know. Look, they're all trying to find out who it was. Now just leave it. Just leave it and move on. Desperate to know the information, aren't they? Okay, so we got this email in from Vera tonight. She's had a terrible day at work, and I'm just wondering, have you ever had a really bad day at work? Okay? She says, yesterday at work, it all went downhill the minute I walked in. She works at one of the Sainsbury's. I got there early to chat to my colleague who finishes at 4 o'clock. I start at 3 o'clock. This is in the afternoon. I start at 3 o'clock, and then after she goes home. I'm on my own in 2 departments. Anyway, before I went upstairs to get changed, I walk around the department to see how bad it was, and it was bad. It's half term. I noticed down one of the aisles that there was a wet floor sign on the shop floor. Great, I thought. I've now got to clean it up. I have now started my shift, and I had to work down the aisle where the wet floor sign is, and I didn't want to clean it. In the end, feeling pissed off, I got the mop and cleaned the floor. Well done, Shania. All part of the job. No, sorry, Vera. Well done, Vera. All part of the job, mother. A couple of hours later, after she'd cleaned it, the security guy comes over and asked me if I had seen the wet floor. I said yes, telling him about my frustration for having to clean it. He asked me if I knew what it was. I said no. Then he tells me it's urine. Now wait till you hear this. Someone had weed on the floor in the supermarket. What is it that possesses someone to do something like that? Apparently, Vera says, the security were watching this woman on the closed circuit television who was stealing. And before they caught her with over 2... Sorry, have you lost the video there? Just a minute. You lost the video there? There we go. I think that was freezing a bit there. That's the computer that does it. It's not a... It's a sort of refurbished computer. It needs a little bit more power, that computer. But it does the job, doesn't it, for now? You know what I mean? Anyway, back to this. Yes, she peed on the floor, gave it a little shake, and then carried on stealing. Vera watched the playback. I couldn't believe it. I asked what time it happened. It was just after 12. So the wee was on the floor for 3 hours. Customers walking in it. I was livid. I will tell the store manager about this on Thursday. I mean, you couldn't... Some of the stuff people must see on closed circuit televisions. I mean, you almost understand the stealing. Or why would someone wee on the floor in a supermarket? Dirty, disgusting peasants. That's what they are. I mean, I'm sure she is barred now. Presumably they caught her with all this stuff when she was stealing. It's funny, actually. I think... I mean, not everyone, I'm sure, but some people just have a sort of a look or a face that says, we better watch that one, don't they? And other people... I don't suppose ever get searched, really. I don't know. I mean, I was on the self-service checkout in Asda Monday. I think it was Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, Monday in Boston. And I bought a carrier bag. The carrier bags have a little bar on them. Some people wait till the end where you can tell the machine how many carrier bags, but I always scan the thing and it comes up, reusable carrier bag, 20 pence. So you start using it. Don't make the mistake of putting it through twice, though. That's easily done. Because, see, when you've done all your shopping and then you go to pay, it then asks you if you've bought any carrier bags. You've already put it through. Don't do it twice. Okay? Anyway, so put the carrier bag down, put something in. Put something else in. Then I didn't need it to carry my shopping. I wanted another carrier bag to do litter picking right round here. So I bought another carrier bag, 20p, and I put that in, and immediately the thing, there is something, what is it? There is an undisclosed item in the checkout area. Please remove this item and try again. Little red light comes on, over he comes, and he pushes the button. There you go, mate. I said, okay, thanks very much. I said, I'm not quite sure what caused that. He said, yeah, it was the carrier bag he just bought. He looked at the screen, and I suppose he didn't look in the bag. Anyway. So then I did something else, apples, put those in, and off it went again. The red light comes on. And again, he looks, he pushes a couple of buttons. There you go, mate. Off he went again. And there was 2 more items, and then on the last item, off it went again. Red light comes on. And he's come, there you go, mate. I said, do you not want to look in the bag at all? He said, no, that's all right, mate. So I think so obviously I don't have a stealing type face, which is good, because I'd find it very embarrassing, really. But you would think they look in bags, wouldn't they? Those machines are always going off, telling you've got something when clearly you haven't, have you? But that's just how it is. I think just as bad as that sort of thing when someone comes over, passport control at airports. The security, it always terrifies me, that. Now, I never ever take anything through. I don't drink. I rarely will bring in a bottle for someone else. You know, I don't drink, so I've got no drink. I don't smoke, so I've got no cigarettes. I certainly haven't got any ammunition or guns or drugs. I don't have anything in that bag. And yet, I get to that security thing and I'm terrified when I walk through there. It's funny, isn't it? Are you the same? And it's similar when I go out of shop and you can see that alarm thing that goes across the door, waiting to go beep, 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 beep. And it has happened to me before. You know, where I bought something and some dickhead hasn't taken the blooming tag off. Beep, beep, beep. Oh, Christ, here we go. Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. We haven't taken the tag off. What about some compensation for me being embarrassed because of you not taking the tag off? And I am so embarrassed. And let me tell you, I do not like embarrassment. I don't like embarrassment. Like if you're with someone and they start rowing with someone else, I'll walk off. I do not like to be embarrassed. And going out of a shop or something and the alarm going off is the total height of embarrassment. Now, have I ever been pulled over at passport or security? I'm just trying to think if I have. Yes, I have. No, I haven't. I tell you what's happened in Australia. It's happened in Australia. In Australia, I'm walking around, come off my airport, off my plane, going for the airport, and we're in a queue, and this dog comes along and sits next to me with a security Australian man, whatever he is. Oh, hello, sir. I said, hello. He said, can I ask you, the dog's detected that you've had some fruit in your bag. Have you got any fruit in your bag? I said, no, I gave it to the lady on the plane. And they're very clear in Australia. You're not allowed to take in certain items. Some of those items, like most countries, are fruit. They're very, very hot on fruit in there, right? And you're not allowed to take it in. And I said, no, I gave it to the lady on the plane when she said, if you've got any fruit, put it in this bag here. And they come up along the aisle on the plane, and you just chuck your apples or whatever you've got in there. And he said, okay, so did you have fruit in there earlier? I said, yes, I had a couple of apples and a banana. Okay, so I said, shall I open the bag? No, that's fine, sir. Just go, you can go past that queue now, just go through that channel over there. And he waved at someone and they waved back, and I just jumped the queue and out I went, and that was it. That was the only time, really. And yet I am terrified when I get to that security bit. You know, you don't know, someone might have put something in that bag, mightn't they? How many people have been in contact with your bag? And like when you get it off the revolving thing, you don't open it, do you? or at least I do. You don't open it. The lock is still there, but someone could have taken off the lock, put the lock back on and closed it, and at the same time put something in your bag. And then you've got to go through security, and if there's something in your bag, they won't believe you if you say, well, it's not mine, mate. I mean, how many people say that? It's not mine, mate, is it? I love those security programs on the telly, Border Force, watching these dodgy people, you know, trying to get stuff in. And they all get caught eventually, all of them. All of them get caught, you know, trying to take in loads of blooming cocaine to destroy someone else's life on the street while making a couple of, I don't know how much they make, a few thousand. Must be worth their while, I assume. Not going to be a few £100 they make, I would assume, would you? You know. But then on the other side of the coin, sometimes I think they're a little bit harsh. You know, like if you're allowed to take in, I don't know the quantities. Is it 200 cigarettes? And maybe they've got 600, 800, maybe 1,000 cigarettes. And you think, and they get nicked for that. And I think, oh, honestly, just a few cigarettes. Do you know what I mean? But, you know, the rules is the rules. 200 means two. Doesn't mean 201. It means 200. So that's it, you know. But I love watching them get caught, those border force things. Terrified. I shall always be terrified going through the security gates at airports and things like that. Hello to Dylan Hutchinson. Evening, Dylan. He says, evening, Chris. Hope all is well. Yes, really well. Thank you very much, Dylan. I've had a lovely week. I can't believe tomorrow is Thursday and I'm going back home again. Can't believe it. I should be leaving here early evening tomorrow. I usually drive home in the night. The last 2 times I've been up here, which was December and January. December and January. The last 2 times I've been up here, I went during the daytime. I thought, well, I'm probably all right getting back. How wrong was I? You know, the 3.5 hour journey turned into 5 hours, with the hour and a half, most of that on the M25. So we won't be doing that anymore. If I leave here around about sort of 6, 7, 8 p.m, somewhere around there, then that all the traffic will be clear and I'll be home by 9, 10, 10:30 sort of time, which is perfect, really. I used to go straight to work from here. I used to leave here on a Friday afternoon, get down to London, which is actually easier traffic-wise, but then I've got to set up, then I've got to work, and I found it really tiring the last time I did it. So that's why I now go back on the Thursday, even though I've kind of got the extra journey of coming back around the M25 or through London on the Friday afternoon. I've had a sleep in the afternoon, see? So it makes all the difference. So yeah, not bad at all, thank you, Dylan. He says, I thought I'd pop in and watch your show for a bit, as I've not been there for a couple of weeks. So welcome back, Dylan. Glad you're enjoying our show. Vera says, when I used to work on the self-service scanning, each machine has a different scan tone. Oh, I didn't know that. So I used to listen to the tone and knew who didn't scan their items. There you are. See, you didn't know that. They got different tones. Did you know that? I didn't know that. I quite like doing my own scan shop. I didn't like it really when it first came out because the thing was always going off. It just didn't work. But I think they've probably done lots of sort of software updates over the years now, and they're pretty good. It's just annoying. Sometimes you get one and it keeps going off and telling you you've put something in and that isn't in there. But there we are. Okie doke. Righty ho. I'm going to do one more little story for you today because you'll be interested in this. I've just had my latest electric and gas bill. Right? I'm with... where are you? I'm with Shell Energy. Shell Energy. And at the moment, they've just put up my price. And I now pay £103 a month for my combined electricity and gas. Okay. Let me just bring it up here. So Shell Energy, there it is. One minute. Now I noticed the app is particularly slow at the moment. I don't know why that is. There we go. So there we are. telling me I'm eligible for a smart meter. Well, we don't want one of those. Thank you very much. There you are. See payments there? £103 a month are my payments to these people. Now, when it was announced that the energy prices are all going up, I immediately took action. I no longer have fairy lights coming on every night. I had little light up trees at the front of the house. They don't come on anymore. Some, not all, most of the sort of lights I've got round the house, they don't come on anymore. Only two. Two instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 instead of 8 come on now. And no fairy lights or anything like that. So that's the electricity side of things. The gas side of things, I've never really had it up that high anyway. Usually on sort of 16, 17 degrees, and I was happy with that. I turned my gas right down to 13 degrees on the central heating. Okay? And admittedly, there were a couple of times where I thought it was a little bit chilly, and I put on a hat. You put a hat on and you'd be surprised how warm that keeps you, right? So hat, jumper, fine. Okay? Just had my combined electricity and gas bill for 4th of March to the 3rd of April. They send you, it's not so much a bill, what it's cost you this month. The bill comes, I think, 4 times a year. But they tell you how much you're spending a month, £66.76. Very happy with that. Thank you very much. And that breaks down view all bills. And I'll show you my bills. There we are, £66.76. And the split is... I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. Let me just check. I'm not giving you any of my addresses or anything else. There we go. I don't know if you can see that there. You just... Oh, it won't... It's blurred, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So that is electricity, £49.75. Gas, remember, 13 degrees, £17.01. Happy days, eh? Happy days. I don't know if it's... Is that the total with the... What's that thing you pay monthly, weekly anyway? The standing charge. Here we go. Right, so electricity charges. Here we go. Standing charge came to £6.43. Usage charge, £40.95. That's the electricity. And the gas, the standing charge for that was £6.96. And the usage charge was £9.24. So I don't think we can complain about that, can we? Of course, that's the old rate. We're just about to go on to the new rate. But if it's another £25 on that, I'm not complaining. Really happy with those amounts. See? Look carefully at what you do with your gas and electricity. If you haven't done it before, start turning lights out. Turn the television off when you're not in the room. Don't boil the kettle and then find you have to boil it again. There are ways of cutting back. I already knew what I was going to do. I was going to turn those lights out, get rid of the fairy lights and things like that, you know. But I'm really happy with that bill. £66 for the month. So there we go. One more text in from Vera. Don't forget the national insurance going up too. Yes, I don't know what that will cost me, actually, to be honest, Vera, the national insurance going up. Because I'm self-employed, the accountant tells me what to pay. I've just come to the end of my tax year. The end of my tax year is March. I'm in a new tax year now. So when I go home, probably next week, I'll get all the information together. I've got some mortgage information that I'm still waiting for to come through the post. And then I send everything off to the accountant. And he tells me what to do. So there we are. Anyway, gang, that's it for the show tonight. Thank you very much for joining us on this Wednesday night. Another live video show for you next Wednesday at the same time, 8 p.m. Thank you very much for all your kind messages and Matthew Martin for his $2 tip tonight. Thank you very much for those. All right. And your messages. Indeed, if you just sat there and watched and you're not in a chat box or texting, I know you're there as well. Thank you very much for that as well. All right. Okay, gang. What are you doing tomorrow morning? If you're around tomorrow morning and you've got a smart speaker, a mobile phone, or just a computer, you can join me for my little radio show tomorrow morning. That starts just after the 9 o'clock news, all right? Reachonair.com. If you've got an Amazon device, just say the word for Amazon, play radio station Reach on Air, or your little iPhone, just ask the lady beginning with S, say play radio station Reach on Air, and she should play our little radio show for you. It's great fun. You can send messages just like you can on this show, and I play music and just have a little bit of a laugh, all right? Have a nice evening, boys and girls. The rest, what shall I have for dinner? I think I might have some bean burgers and baked beans. Baked beans. See you soon. Bye-bye. Well, that hasn't worked, has it? There's a button not working. Let's try again. Bye-bye.